I'm your main host, Heidi Barrios.
Jayden Fernandez.
And I'm Khrislenn Garino.
And welcome back to another episode of Golden Tiger Talk. This week's episode will be on how women are perceived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before we start, we would like to make an announcement on behalf of the Asian Club on the current Asian hate that's happening. We have all witnessed the increasing incidence of violence and harassment towards Asian communities within the past few weeks in the Bay Area and throughout the country. Although xenophobic actions have always occurred, increasing incidences have been observed since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. We condemn the acts of violence committed against the Asian community in the country. Prejudice is not acceptable, nor will it ever be acceptable. We will not let the few who perpetrate racism instill and divide our community. Hate against some of us harms all of us. We must come together to put an end to these debilitating actions and create an environment that is accepting of all backgrounds. If you are a witness or victim of an act of violence, please call 911 and reach out to your school or local counselors for support. Use hashtag StopAsianHate and report your story to standagainsthatred.org and stopaapihate.org. Also, Asian Club is also inviting you to donate unopened toiletries for the Pacific Resource Center and brand new flip-flops, kids size 12 to 13 and adult size 1 to 4 for elementary school students in the Philippines who walk barefoot to school. The drop boxes will be in front of the school. Thank you.
Now, moving on to our first topic, how women are expected to look and how they are expected to behave. So we have a little data table in front of us with some statistics, I guess, from... Oh, it disappeared for a second. I'm like, where'd it go? um, we have a little table from the Pew Research Center. On the left side, we have the characteristics or traits that people value most in men, and on the right side, we have the traits or characteristics people value most in women. I will talk about the characteristics people value most in men. Okay. Honesty and morality is valued at 33%. Professional and financial success is valued at 23%. Ambition and leadership at 19%. Strength and toughness at 19%. Hard work and good work ethic at 18%. Physical attractiveness 11%. Empathy or nurturing or kindness, they're at 11%. Loyalty and dependability is at 9%. Intelligence at 8%. Being family oriented at 5%. And politeness and respectfulness at 5%.
And for women, physical attractiveness is at 35%. Empathy / nurturing / kindness at 30%. Intelligence at 22%. Honesty / morality at 14%. Ambition and leadership at 9%. Hard work and good work ethic at 9%. Professional / financial success at 8%. Loyalty and dependability at 7%. Competence and ability at 7%. Independence / self-reliance at 6%. Strength / toughness at 5%. Politeness and respectfulness at 5%. And the last one, ability to multitask at also 5%.
That's kind of disturbing how honesty and morality is the highest for men and the highest for women is physical attractiveness.
To be honest, I'm not surprised that honesty and morality is valued most in men, only because from personal experience, family-wise, that comes up a lot. It comes up quite often. But yeah, the physical attractiveness for women being at 35%, kind of whack.
I
But
think
go for it.
I think it's crazy how independence is at 6% for women. Like that's wild. Because I would
For
like at least like someone like if I was a guy, I would like a woman who's like independent, who's able to like,
Miss Independent.
clean.
Okay, the fact that it doesn't even show up as valued for men.
That's so funny.
And like the ability to multitask also.
Isn't
And like
valued in men.
another thing is like respectfulness on both sides is at the lowest, is at 5%.
I know, like when we were talking about this table before recording, they're both at 5%. Politeness and respectfulness.
Mm,
I would have thought it would have been a little higher.
I know you want someone to have like boundaries, consent, all that stuff. Why is that all the way at 5%?
But like,
wild.
why is kindness for men at 11% when 30% for kindness is for women?
Oh, think about this, okay? 65% is attributed to physical attractiveness and empathy and and being nurturing and being kind. 65% of a woman, that's what they want. Them to be pretty and nice.
Sorry, people, society.
Sorry to break it to you, man.
Yeah, sorry to break it to you. Not everyone's like that, or not anyone who identifies as a woman is like that. Some of us got a tough attitude.
Also, the personal or professional success and like financial success for men, do you think that like you need that for yourself? Not need that, but like want that in a man for yourself? Because personally, I would want that to be a reason why someone has to date me, or I would have to date someone else for.
I think the reason why it's so high is because a lot of relationship problems like later on stem from financial issues. So that's why I think that's one of the I think that's one of the main reasons why people get divorced is like financial issues. They just like they just can't do it anymore.
I mean, I gotta preface, I don't need a man to begin with to be
I mean,
financially
period.
but like, I don't know. I would put like personally, like being family orientated over
Yeah. Why is that at 5%?
yeah, over like professional and financial success. Like if we're gonna be in a union together, we're in this together, right? We obviously are gonna have like a different bank accounts and separate things too, but we've got to help each other out, not just them being like carrying that weight of having to be the money maker. We
Or
both
us
being the money
carrying
makers.
or us carrying the weight.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think like I even would want kindness on the top too. Like without that, I honestly wouldn't even respect you if you aren't even kind to me.
Or being respectful, loyal. What about honesty and morality being at the top, but loyal and dependability is at 9%?
What the heck? Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean, I've also heard about like gender norms as well. Like as someone who like identifies as a male, most of the time I'm unable to experience like the way women are perceived. Like I've heard some statements as well, like women are quiet and passive. How do you guys think about that one?
Shoot, I'm literally not quiet at all. Like I'm super loud.
Yeah.
Like I can be a quiet one like I want to, but I'm not. I'm like very eccentric. I have a very eccentric personality. I'm not like
Yeah, we're both ENFPs.
That's true.
I don't remember
saying.
mine. I don't remember mine.
Okay, after this, you're taking it.
Okay.
You're taking
Again?
the quiz.
I forgot it. I know we took it in Mr. K's, but then I forgot it. I know it's E and then something else.
I know the first one's E.
Who would have known?
Because like I've like seen Heidi at work, like she's very talkative and very like extroverted because
Social.
she's trying to connect with people, and I see it, and I do that with myself. However, like women, the statement "women are quiet and passive," I really don't believe that myself. I believe people should be the way they want to be.
Everyone's built different.
Yeah, I mean, and
And
like, oh, sorry.
no, it's just that like women are timid, women are quiet, women are passive. That's because in the past, that's how they wanted you to be to control you, right? That's
Mhm.
how men in the past put their power on women. And so like saying that women are quiet and passive is they're just to like perpetuate that that norm, I guess.
Yeah, and like now that we're talking about like, um, Jayden here mentioned like at work, like I've been personally called out by like a higher up, like you talk too much, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, oh, I talked to him, excuse me. It's not my fault. Like we're all like in the department that we're in, both me and Jayden. We're all very talkative people. Like everyone in that department, like we all get along, we all like to talk. And, like I'm sorry if I want to like have a good time with like the customer, make sure they're enjoying the Macy's experience
Your
and
job is to
etc.
talk to
Literally.
people.
And like
Exactly.
what what annoys me the most is sometimes I'm able to see like the inequality sometimes that occurs, especially at work. Sometimes I'm the person that doesn't get a lot of complaints on. Only recently I've gotten some bad things about me, or like some statements like, "Oh, you need to work more, get more things." Like we call it credits and like bronzes. So like we have to get more of those stuff, or like reward stuff, compared to like my other coworkers who've been experiencing like bad things from our higher ups for like the past 2 months, 3 months already. And I haven't gotten anything until now.
Hmm.
And like that guilt inside starts to build up because I'm not the person, I'm the type of person that's very sympathetic and very like, I'm the type of person that feels emotions for everyone, kind of. Like I don't want people to feel bad, or like I don't want people to feel negative about themselves from other people. And like if someone is negative, like someone does receive like negative feedback from someone, I feel it because like I feel bad for them that they have to receive
Yeah.
that type of stuff. I don't know where it came from, but like I've always felt that way.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I think it's like it's a human thing, human trait of yours.
Yeah. um Another statement I also heard was women should always look flawless, and t- that's not true. I don't believe that.
If we gotta be flawless, men, step up your game.
Oh my gosh, period.
Like they push all of these things onto women. Like you have to be this, you have to be that. No, we're all just people trying to get by. I don't get why we
Exactly.
have to be perfect.
Yeah, I don't.
Nobody's perfect.
Like social media in general, I feel like that kind of just pushed it also. Sorry.
I think like an example of like this would be, I think I remember when I first saw this movie, I was like, what? Like it's wild.
Oh,
But
oh, what movie?
good thing you asked. 50 Shades of Grey, guys.
What?
That movie. Okay. So in the film 50 Shades of Grey, the female protagonist, Anastasia, how do you pronounce her name? Is it Anastasia?
Anastasia.
Anastasia Steele is portrayed as a quiet, reserved college student who becomes the love interest of Christian Grey, a powerful businessman. Both characters display tired gender norms that could potentially be harmful to both men and women. For example, Christian Grey is portrayed as the ideal man. He's rich, stoic, but handsome and fit. And Anna is a young, beautiful, and timid woman who is willing to do anything to please him sexually. Though it is like really only a movie, toxic. I think it's toxic and it's problematic to like the just intensely problematic.
I mean, think about it. Like, they made 3 movies about this. They wrote how many books already for this freaking series? Like,
Mm.
how toxic is this relationship where you had to write 3 stories about it? I mean, not like what's it called? To All the Boys I Loved Before, like that series. I mean, that kind of relationship also was kind of toxic, especially for high school.
I think in general, a lot of the relationships that are portrayed in media is toxic.
True. Very true.
And unrealistic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
very,
mean,
very
you're just gonna
unrealistic.
find like a businessman who's like got that shmoney and just out of nowhere
Likes this random girl, this rando.
and just becomes extremely obsessed with her.
Yeah,
Scary.
that's really unrealistic. I mean, the thing is, a lot of people use movies as their escape, so they're like, well, yeah, it's supposed to be unrealistic, but at the same time, at least try being a little more down to earth, I guess. but
True.
yeah, even though it's like a relationship in a movie, it can influence people to think that it's okay,
Hmm.
Very
which,
true.
which is definitely not good. I've never watched the movies, but
Neither have I.
does he ask for consent?
I don't know. I feel like
I
Has
mean,
I
any
saw
movie
like
asked for consent though?
hopefully.
No, no. If you think,
give me
okay,
a
remember.
second to think.
I mean, like I remember we discussed this in like, I think it was either sophomore year or freshman year. We took a class or something. I know it was during AP Euro.
It was during APO.
It was I forgot what it was called.
No, the class they came in during class.
Yeah,
Was it only one period or was it two periods?
it took 2 periods. I mean,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it took two periods.
but basically they explained how like in Snow White she was like knocked out and poisoned from the apple, and the prince kisses her, which is like an example of um no consent. Another one is obviously Sleeping Beauty.
That
Yeah,
one, yeah.
yeah. I mean, the fact, at least in the animated version, it's like, oh, like a guy is gonna come save you. No, save yourself.
No.
Y'all seen Tangled?
Exactly.
The guy isn't always the hero.
Period.
Yeah.
Well, period. Yeah, that's mm-mm. Mm-mm. Hold on. Let's talk about K-drama
Oh goodness.
relationships.
Oh yes. This.
Okay.
Heads up, I have no clue what they're gonna talk about, so go for it, girls.
Okay.
Thank you.
First off, in the most like typical, like maybe the teenage K-dramas, like they're still in high school, the structure is pretty much all the same.
Yeah.
It's always like the popular, very cute guy. He's usually pretty smart too. He's like the all-rounder.
And like
He's
at least like middle class, like high middle class.
high middle class,
Got the money.
probably good at sports, probably one
Just
of
good
the
at
top in the
everything.
class, good at everything, good at everything. And then the girl, it's either she's dumb,
Poor. Like extremely poor.
extremely poor, um, basically not on the same level.
Yeah,
Right.
like nowhere near.
If he's like royalty, she's like peasant.
No, I mean like I think I was a lot of older K dramas like um Boys Over Flowers is like so toxic because you have the main
Mm,
character, the main girl character, and she's like poor, she's like has all these jobs, and then you have the main dude and he's like literally the heir of a huge
conglomerate. Like
Yeah.
he's like
Very-
he's in the Chipol family.
yeah, exactly. The Terra family. And like him and his other friends are also like, heirs, or at
Rich.
least like have that money. And it's just all toxic because like it's the same, it's like so repetitive, but it's so annoying seeing, and like the way that he, I guess, like gets the girl, quote unquote, is like he like bullies her. It's, oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
What's up with that in general? Like when you're kids, if like someone's teasing you, they're like, ugh, that
He
he
likes
likes
you.
you.
I
Bruh, that
know,
is
that's so
bad.
annoying.
And that's like a plot of so many of the K dramas.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot. I
It's
feel like
concerning.
one of the one of the K dramas that aren't formatted this way would be like Strong Girl.
Oh
Double
my
soon.
gosh. That K drama has to be one of my favorites. It's so funny. It's still with like the CEO, the
Yeah, but
main dude is CEO, but
at least this time, like the girl, she's doing the most.
she
She's saving
is,
herself
and others.
and others. Did she save him?
Yeah.
But yeah, in K dramas, oof. It's always the same type of trope.
I
Huh?
know.
Yeah.
It's okay. A lot more modern ones are breaking that
They
breaking that barrier. It's amazing.
Yeah. This is kind of like unrelated, but stop with the love triangles. You don't gotta
The love
stop it.
triangles. Oh,
Like
it's
that can't be the only thing that's going awry with your relationship, you know.
yeah.
There could be many other factors. If they're like, nope, put a second lead in. Go
Oh
ahead.
my gosh. And second lead gets
Nothing.
no justice.
No justice for the second leads. Oh, it's so sad.
Kind of moving off of like relationships. There was like this one post or like this one YouTuber named like Remy Cruz who posted a photo of herself, and it was like a transformation photo of her like losing a lot of weight where she was wearing a bikini, and she had the same pose as this other influencer named Alyssa Violet. So when she posted this photo, it was kind of an experiment to see what would happen, and she kind of got slut shamed and body shamed as well from it, compared to Alyssa Violet, who was like seen as hot and sexy, stuff like that. I'm in shocked of how like people would comment that to like Remy, who lost a lot of weight throughout like her
You can say journey.
journey, weight loss journey. There you go. It's like she lost a lot of weight in her weight loss journey, and I'm kind of just like over how people always have to fat shame someone if even if they had like a good journey of like weight loss, or they always have to um give negative feedback to people just because of something. There's always something that people are going to nag of, especially like women influencers on social media. And again, this is like how women are perceived, that they should always look flawless or look perfect, but no one should, no one is perfect, honestly. Sorry, I kept rambling, but yeah.
Sorry, I wanted to say like period so bad.
Go for
Just
it.
like period. But another way, okay, and now that we've kind of talked about how women are perceived in media, gender norms, etc., we got to talk about how women are perceived at work, or like the inequality. First of all, the inequality of pay. And it's even worse, especially if you're a woman of color, a person of color. Okay, and here's a statistic for you. Overall, women who were full time, a year round employees made $82, $82, 82.3 cents for every dollar men made in 2019, based on median earning data from the Census Current Population Survey, which means women are paid 17.7% less than men, earning $10,157 less than men. Wild. Crazy.
Why? Just
I
why?
don't know.
Shouldn't be this way. Should not be this way.
Should definitely not be this way. People are working just as hard to get somewhere in life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's like no point. Just just have the same pay. I don't know what's so hard about it.
I know. No need to discriminate against gender or anything in that sense. But continuing, according to a Times article from January 2020, women held 50.04% of American jobs as of December, excluding farm workers and the self employed, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And also, usually women are like, if you're thinking of in a professional workplace, a setting like that, you have to like wear heels, you have to wear the skirts, you can't really show any skin, you have to smell good. But this all costs money, like a lot of money.
What's crazy is that they want you to wear heels, wear your little pencil skirts, wear your little blouse, but you can't show any skin, bruh. Then don't
Yeah,
make
you
me wear a
need
skirt.
yeah, you need to like button it up.
Let me
Like
wear pants.
I know, dang it. I like pants. I don't like skirts.
I don't understand. If people want to feel comfortable at work, also let them wear pants instead of pencil skirts. Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, let me wear a suit like y'all. I want to wear a suit.
Exactly.
What's
Pull
wrong
up
with
in
a
a
suit?
suit.
There really
Thank
is
you.
nothing wrong with wearing a suit or like women wearing suits. It just seems even more formal than it already is.
I think it's just so cool, like seeing pictures of like women. Like it also happens in a lot of K dramas. Like they show up in like suits, and I'm like, period. Like
Yeah.
yes,
If I were to show up, in a corporate building in my suit, I would have a power trip.
exactly. Like you should.
And
Oh
that's
my
all.
gosh.
That would keep me going. Being like, oh,
Mhm.
look at me, dazzling in a suit.
That's me
All
feeling
suited
yourself like
up, looking good, but women
exactly.
always look good.
Yep.
Period. Yeah, that's why. Now, the dangers of being a woman. There are a lot. There are a lot. So here are some statistics. And trigger warning, we will be mentioning rape and sexual assault and sexual harassment. So click off if that's not your vibe.
Yes.
Okay. The first statistic is that in no, every 73 seconds an American is being sexually assaulted. 1 out of 6 American women has been a victim of an attempted or completed rape in her lifetime. 1 in 5 women and 1 in 71 men will be raped at some point in their lives.
In June 2014, SSH commenced a 2,000 person national survey in the USA with surveying firm GFK. Their survey found that 65% of all women had experienced street harassment. Among all women, 23% had been sexually touched, 20% had been followed, and 9% had been forced to do something sexual. Among men, 25% had been street harassed. A higher percentage of LGBT identified men than heterosexual men reported this, and their most common form of harassment was homophobic or transphobic slurs, which is about 9%. Laura Beth Nielsen, professor of sociology in the law of Northwestern University, conducted a study of 100 women and men excuse me, study of 100 women and men experiences with offensive speech in the California San Francisco Bay Area in the early 2000s. She found that 100% of the 54 women she asked had been the target of offensive or sexually suggestive remarks, at least occasionally. 19% every day, 43% said often, and 28% said sometimes. Notably, they were the target of such speech significantly more often than they were of, quote, polite remarks about their appearance. This was found on stopstreetharassment.org, rain.org, and nsvrc.org.
ANDNSVRC.org.
Might be. But just all these different rates between harassment and rape is kind of just jaw dropping because I feel as if that just makes it feel unsafer for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when we talk about assault, sexual harassment, rape, it's like we know about it, but what can you do to prevent it? I mean, obviously women protect themselves and whatever. Okay. How about you tell men that what sexual assault and what sexual harassment is, and tell them, well, not just men, for any
Anyone.
Anyone.
will commit to that crime, that it's not okay. It's not okay. Yeah, tell women and tell whoever to protect themselves, but tell the other side, like,
Like
don't.
the predators.
Yeah, just, it's not okay. It's not right. It's
It's no. It's just no.
no, it's no good. And like any sort of harassment too is uncomfortable, like catcalling, hmm? getting unsolicited images in your DMs,
Mm-hmm.
or just like touching people who are not comfortable with it, even if it's like anywhere on your body, like your shoulder. Oh my goodness, don't touch me there.
Exactly. Literally. Oh my gosh. Keep your
But
hands off.
people need to learn and respect boundaries just as much as women in quotation marks need to protect themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying.
So now to continuing on to another, I guess, danger of being a woman is victim blaming. If you don't know, victim blaming is the attitude which suggests that the victim, rather than the perpetrator, bears responsibility for the assault. Victim blaming occurs when it is assumed that an individual did something to provoke the violence by actions, words, or dress. Many people would rather believe that someone caused their own misfortune because it makes the world seem like a safer place. But victim blaming is a major reason that survivors of sexual and domestic violence do not report their assaults.
Many survivors are already grappling with feelings of guilt and shame for what has happened. It is essential that administrators do not reinforce these feelings. No matter what they're wearing, how much they had to drink, or whether they had a previously consensual relationship with the perpetrator, the victim should not be blamed. It is never the victim's fault.
And some statements that have been like said to victims were these ones, which was a form of victim blaming. What were you wearing? Were you out late? Why did you go there? She asked for it. It wasn't really rape. He didn't mean to. She wanted it. She lied. Um, Going on about the she lied part, this was found in research where um, false reporting rates somehow were between 2 to 5%, which means 95 to 98% of rape reports are actually true. But continuing on with victim blaming statements, rape is a trivial event, rape is a deviant event. And as much as we like it not to be, sexual violence is prevalent on college campuses. The shaming and silencing of victim leads to a feeling of impunity for perpetrators who often commit multiple assaults during their time on campus. This is rape culture in America today.
And now, okay, we're going to talk about things that do cause rape. Okay. First one, rapists. You know, makes sense.
Makes sense.
And what is one thing that every single rape has in common?
What?
A rapist who chooses to rape. Okay. Period, point blank.
Things that do not cause rape: drinking or drug use, whether the consumption was intentional or unintentional, aka date rape drugs. Another thing that does not cause rape is clothing or makeup, flirting or previous consensual encounters. Those 3 to 4 things do not cause rape. Okay.
But what you guys said about the things that do not cause rape, they really do not. It's the choice of the rapist. And again, do not victim blame victims. They're already in a traumatic state of mind where they're really scared to do things. And again, there's guilt built up in them, within them. So if someone is saying the truth of how they felt about something, do realize they're telling the truth. And remember, 95 to 98% of rape cases are true. So please listen to the victims. And a national sexual assault hotline, if you do need to talk to someone, is 1-800-656-4673.
Wait, no cap. Being a woman can be scary. It can be scary. Like I don't I don't want to be walking alone at any time. I mean, I do, but like doesn't mean I'm not uncomfortable. Like my mom has me carry around pepper spray.
Oh, same, bro. Same. I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't.
Or have you seen all those like human trafficking things before, where it's like if they leave like stuff on your car, just
Or like a
don't.
bracelet or like a string or something.
Yeah.
Or like I saw one where the girl was like, tie your shoes, go down, tie your shoes like a few feet away from your car to check if there's someone underneath, because if there's someone underneath your car, they can like slash, your ankle or like that Achilles, that part, and snag you. Or walking alone at night. I don't think I've ever walked alone at night or at night. Besides, just why? Like I want to be able to go on like a midnight walk. That Never mind. I'm not gonna add to that. But I would like to go outside at night by myself and be independent and not have to rely on anyone else for my safety. Why? Why is the world like this?
There's like also, it was, sorry if you heard that background noise, but so I know there is a trend that was going around also where people would say, what would you do if there was no men in the world? And there were responses of, I would let my children go outside.
Oh, wow.
And I would walk by myself, as well as just, I would do so many things I could do. That should not be a statement that should be said
Yeah.
in general.
And now if you're going out in public, there's a lot of there's a good amount of fear going out. First of all, the virus. Second of all, I'm a girl. Third of all, I'm Asian. So Um, that's why I don't go outside.
I'm gonna get emotional just a little bit. If I start crying, I might, but I'm tired of having to fear my life every second just to go outside. Like, as an Asian person, I was never as scared to go outside, but as a gay male, I was too scared to go outside because of how I identify. Um, just going outside in general, of getting sick of the virus, I was scared. Going to work sometimes scares me because I'm too afraid of what customers are going to do to me. Um,
Same.
but I'm tired of having to see myself be scared and anxious of everything I have to do every second, every time I go outside. I'm tired of my friends having to be fearful for their own lives just in case they get like human trafficked or kidnapped and so much more. I'm tired of people having to be fearful of what's outside in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of not as bad, but honestly, never really had a real like childhood of going on play dates and hanging out with my friends because my mom was pretty busy, so she didn't have time to meet the parents. So if she couldn't meet the parents, I couldn't go to my friend's house, or even even like a friend that I've had for years and years and years. I was not allowed to have any sleepovers because there were guys that lived in the same household.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to have a normal upbringing. I want to be able I want to be able to go outside and hang out without any fear. But this is the world we're living in, guys.
It's disappointing. Like being, I'm not, for the other, not Asian, but I'm Latina, right? It's still a woman of color, and it's scary in general being a woman and then being Mexican, okay? But like seeing this happen to like the Asian community is so like disheartening. And I hate it so much.
What was disheartening was there's this girl that was like, you can't support the Stop Asian Hate if you support Black Lives Matter. Someone said that. And I'm like, huh? Uh, uh,
No.
excuse me?
No, because no, we're
No,
all
just
like
no.
marginalized communities, and we have to come together.
Yeah, it's not like one is more oppressed than the other. If we're all being oppressed,
Why are
stand
we
up
comparing
together.
it? Yeah,
Exactly. Why can't we just all stand together?
it isn't a
But
competition. Who's being more oppressed
it
than the
isn't.
other.
It isn't.
And
And you
we
don't
should
want
come together.
you don't want to be oppressed. Why make it a competition?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And adding to like, oh my gosh, adding to my statement earlier, like about fearing stuff, I'm more fearful of being killed now. I know that's scary to say, but
It's a
that's
reality.
it's reality. Like, mass shootings were a thing for a while, but a mass shooting literally happened just a few days ago in Georgia, and now I'm scared for my own life to be killed by someone. And like, fear is always in the back of my mind of death. But
There's that one video of that woman in San Francisco, the Asian woman, and
Mm,
and the guy like hit her. And
mm.
and she
she
defended
like
herself.
she defended herself with like a wooden thing and like beat that dude. Deserved. First of all, deserved. Second of all, San Francisco.
Literally 10 minutes away from my house.
You know how many Asians live in the Bay Area?
Literally, most of the Bay Area.
Most of the Bay Area. Do you
Gosh.
know how liberal the Bay Area is? And then you got this presumably cisgendered male coming around and hitting Asian woman. Gosh, Like, that's so close. That's so close to us.
I was there on Sunday. Goodness gracious.
You were. You were just there.
Yep.
And it just sucks of how like many stereotypes there are in the world of every minority, like Asian. Oh my gosh, Asian. Okay, first of all, like the beginning of the virus, Chinese people eat the bat, stuff like that. Like all like Chinese people eat like bat, stuff like that. I'm like, first of all, not true. Second of all, like it's not your problem most of the time either.
It's
It's
the virus's fault, not the people. You think they wanted to get sick? You think they wanted to spread it around to people? You think they wanted that? No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
and like another one, like all Muslims are terrorists.
We gotta stop that. That's cap.
And I know people are gonna be like very controversial about this, but most of it was started from our former president, Donald Trump.
Oh gosh.
The rhetoric he used was like perpetuating it. It was encouraging the racism, the xenophobia, Islamophobia, everything, literally. It was the rhetoric he was using, which is just SMH, man, SMH.
And he won people over
Yeah,
with that, which is really
millions.
really sad, but he's in the past. He can stay in the past. He's not. When's the last time you heard news about him?
The
Uh,
other day.
Other day. Other day.
But anyway,
I forgot what it was, but I just know he kept mentioning more of it. Like
yeah, a lot of people are mentioning more of it, and it's just like saying like the Chinese virus, sir. What? Huh? It's a virus. It's germs.
Also, I know we weren't here in 1918 or whatever year the Spanish flu was. Did the Spanish people get this much hate?
I don't know.
I don't know. But getting onto a lighter note, Golden Tiger moments.
Woo! Okay, let's go. Mine is Subin. That's it. Just Subin from TXT. His existence, his smile, just him. Yep.
Similarly, Pumgyu from TXT. Oh my goodness, no words. He exists out in the. He's in Korea, existing right now. I can't handle it.
For me, I was catching up on work to try to get my grades up.
Heck yeah, man.
My F is probably up to C, maybe.
That's good.
That is good.
I turned a lot of work
Congratulations.
in. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Can you hear it? Good. And that is it for this episode on how our women are perceived. Next week will be the final installment of just the episodes on Women's History Month, and it'll be on fashion. Stay
Heck yeah, man.
tuned. And
Woo!
thank you.
Thank you for listening, as always.
Let's kill this love.